All right. Good morning, everybody. How's everyone doing today? Welcome, welcome. It's nice to be back. If you wouldn't mind typing in the chat that you can hear me and everything is good to go, that would be great. Hello, Perry. All right. Thank you. I appreciate your feedback. The pound Aussie just getting long for the first trade this morning. So if anyone is trading that, heads up there. That's long from 79.17. Got some nice targets. We'll look at that in a moment. We've got a get in sync trade here with the YM, which has been going for quite some time. It's a long trade from 33,567. Let's mark this. Yeah, so within the first 30 seconds or so, here it is coming back down maybe to the entry, but right in this area is when this trade should have been taken. I realize that it's been going for a long time, but it's a momentum bar. We don't really care about time. That is a valid trade. The stop held. It has not hit money management. And this is a long trade to get in sync with, and one should have gotten in sync on these two bars, one of these bars here. So this trade's going, and its first target objective is up here at 33,608. And that's a 41-point target one. Money management, let's mark that also right there. So if it gets to 604, stop will move. So interesting setup, but it is what it is. And these trades can turn out really good. We're not here to argue with the setup or overthink it. Got simple rules to follow, and that's that. Crude oil. Yep, right at 9 a.m. You could see this session already finished before our start time this morning, coming up and hitting its first target for 15 ticks, 24 ticks, 34 ticks, stopping out, one and done for the 9 a.m. session. So we'll be trading crude oil shortly with the crude oil inventory report in a little less than an hour. Today is the Beige Book Day. 6 times a year they report. This report called the Beige Book comes out, and it often coincides with a choppy market or a low range kind of market with a lot of indecision and whipsaw. And I don't know if that's a coincidence or what. It's something I've just noticed over the years, and you can see how the YM has kind of given us that kind of pattern here. So hopefully it will break through. But today is a Beige Book Day. Just wanted to point that out. Back to the pound Aussie. So that one is targeting 7936 as its first target, with the money management level at 3.3. 3.3. We'll round that down. 3.3 will be the money management level where we move our stop to break even. And then your other targets at 4.6, 5.7, and 6.7. So it's come off quite a bit. It's come down, down, down. As a matter of fact, if you look at yesterday's trade that we did in the trade a day service and in the trade room even, you could see the short from here, and it's been down ever since. This was a really great trade yesterday. It's been down ever since. A really, another big move prior to starting this morning. And is it now losing its steam on the downside? It's been a pretty long move down since yesterday. And is it forming some footing here? This looks like a continuation pattern to go short with this triangle but it did break to the upside. Broke through on the upside. So it may come down and test these lows again. You definitely got resistance up here to work through on the 50 moving average, but it's also way over sold. You can see the trend strength indicator line is crossed over, and we got our blue bars popping up. So if it wasn't a blue trade, it would be a green trade also, and it's definitely a long trade. It may come down and test. Hopefully it holds. This could end up being a good move. We'll see. Regardless, that's the first trade this morning, so that's the one we're in. And I've got the unleaded. You can see I got the automation running on unleaded just to, I like to run it sometimes. And this also coinciding with the long trade on crude oil. Unleaded is also one and done with a really nice trade. And I like to put the automation on sometimes and just get a random look because this is a really nice plan. I get a lot of questions on whether one can trade with automated trading in the trade room. I just got another one of those emails yesterday. They seem to come in quite often, and there seems to be an interest in automation. And with the Spotlight Master Suite, there certainly is some powerful automation tools. And this is one of those charts that just continues to perform. It's really hard to mess it up. Really, over time, it does pretty good. This is just looking at the last, few weeks since March 23rd. 66 trades. Of course, that's counting exits, so it's really not quite 66 trades. I'd have to look at how many positions. How many am I showing here? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, let's look. Maybe probably reduce that down to something more reasonable, but 3 positions. Yeah, that's not too bad. So target 2, target 3, and a trailer. And a power of quitting of 3. Print some more trades. You don't have to go that many. But anyway, you could see it's done pretty well as of late. Right? It's only lost 3 in a row. So that's kind of nifty. Of course, if you're going to trade with automation, that doesn't make trading easier. You have to be on hand to take control at any moment. A lot of things can go wrong and will go wrong. And usually at the most unopportune time. So let's take a look at the YM. The YM has done its job. Look at that. This is why we don't argue with the rules. So this one came up, hit target 1, hit target 2. The trailer now is already up to its money management. If anyone's in this trade, move your stop to 604. And the YM is going to be one and done today. I actually like these kind of long, extended trades, because I find they tend to resolve a majority of the time in the direction of our trade. There's a reason why the setup is what it is. We have the odds on our side, and we want to take advantage of odds when we're trading. So let me just take a look here at the comments. Good morning, Perry, K. John, Bob, John Lizar, Brett, Alan, Jitendra, Mariella, John W. Good morning, everybody. Glad you can join me today. All right, so I have another announcement. I'll probably make it a few times. First of all, don't forget to hit the like button. That really helps. And I'm going to be hosting a special event, the one I've been promising you guys. It's going to be this Tuesday, and there's been a delay in scheduling it, as you know, but one of the reasons why is because I wanted to associate it with a bigger thing that I'm doing. I'm starting a special club on a new Discord channel. Well, it's under the Backpacktraders server, but I want to give you guys a private link to join this club. There's no cost to it, and I hope you guys will join because I intend to do more of these types of sessions like I'm going to be doing Tuesday. I think it's going to help a lot of you. Move your stop to 33,614, pushing up towards the target 4 here on the YM. Just barely missing. Look at that trade. So let me grab for you a link, and I want you all to hit that link and join the club. And I'll give you more information as we get closer. And once we get this thing established, you'll kind of see more and more of what I have planned, and I'm kind of being a little bit mysterious on purpose. So hopefully you guys will join, and we're going to have a lot of fun in there. So I'm excited about it. Let me grab you a link. 1 second. I got to remember how to do it. I think I got it. All right. It's a little tricky dealing with my laptop when I'm on location. Good morning, Armando. All right, guys. So here's the link in the YouTube comments, in the chat. And by clicking on that link, you can join my new channel in Discord. I'm going to be doing a lot of cool stuff in there. All right, so move your stop to 33,629, hitting target 4. And the YM getting it done again. All right. The BDG 54 Brad. You're welcome. All right, so hopefully you guys all get on board there. So let's see, where are we at with today? I mean, markets are moving pretty nice. You could see, let's see, we've been looking at the pound yen. The pound yen is still pretty slow. Was hoping this might be a good market to add to our daily stuff, but it just doesn't seem to be active enough, and I'm not sure about this. I'd have to find another one. So if anyone has any questions, just looking at some of these charts I've got, be interesting to look at the NQ. Okay, so this is an interesting chart. Notice that the trades are white. That's because this is one of the Spotlight Master Suite setups. Wow, a lot of action this morning. Look at all that action in the NQ. This is like the first 5 minutes. Yeah, the NQ's been crazy this morning, at least from a momentum bar point of view. This is a 4-point momentum bar. So this setup is using Spotlight technology, and it's one of the fun with moving averages setups. It's one that we don't really look at or talk about much, and we should, because it's actually really good. This is a trade setup that you probably want to use solo, although I've heard of other members combining it with other setups too. So I'm only kind of speaking out of my own kind of thoughts on it, but without really testing or knowing for sure. But if you come down, you'll see that the last setup in this list of 10 setups, well, it's really 9, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, because that first one's add-ons. Well, anyway, that's the only one set to true, and all the others are set to false. Now, the regular Spotlight, Power Trader, Gold, Master Suite, Gold level setups that we use in the room are usually the first 3, and sometimes we'll put this one on, which is the blue, off the 20 SMA trade. So this one is only this setup, and all the others are set to false, and this is a very interesting trade. What it does is it takes a fast-moving average and a slower-moving average, and that is your confirmation tool when you team it up with the exhaustion dots and our balance of power line. And it makes for some really great setups, especially in a trending market, but not always. We don't even need the OSOB indicator for this because it doesn't even use it. But if you're looking for something to experiment with, this is a really cool setup. And you could do it manually too. I've taught you how to manually calculate the setup. So if you don't have this, you could still use the exhaustion dots, put on a couple EMAs in the balance line, and you can draw the trades. It's nice to have the calculator, of course. So, I mean, it was one and done. Clearly, you could see that first trade of the morning happening right there. That would have been, well, I don't know if that would have been another setup or not. We'd have to put on the other indicators. But you could see it did pretty decent. But it's just craziness. So there's just so much action this morning. I mean, this is all within 10 minutes. The NQ pretty manic. You can make a lot or lose a lot really fast with the NQ, so you got to be very careful. Excellent, Bob Burns. Good morning, and glad that you got it. The link worked, you guys. So this is kind of a brand new thing. I'm trying to stretch out a bit. We figure we can do a lot with Discord and control a lot of what we do, which we like. A lot of interaction, a lot of ways to build a more robust community amongst ourselves, which we're really excited about too. So we thought, well, we're already using Discord, so let's use it a little more. So let me know if you guys got in okay and that everything's cool with that. Unfortunately, we're staring down a stop and reverse on the pound Aussie, which is kind of predictable because it butted up against the 50 moving average. It may come down and test these lows again. And that's not a pleasant setup because 79.04 adjusts down to 02, and 02 adjusts down to 7.899. So this is an attempt to really stay long. It's a 5 pip adjustment. It's the only time we kind of make those adjustments, but it's because I don't have the key level turned on. I do it manually. So the way the stop and reverse adjustment works is you make a 2 pip adjustment. So from 04 to 02, and then 02 is in front of a major key level, 7,900. And when we're 2 pips in front of a major key level like that, we adjust to the other side. So that would push it down to 7,899. So we really want to stay long, but we may have to get short, and that would be rather unpleasant, I guess, because it really messes up the trade setup, which isn't even very big. So if you get in at 9.9, yeah, we'd have to go to target 2 as our first target. So hopefully it stays long and it doesn't flip to short. But Yeah, this is an awkward setup, and that's, when a market could be bottoming out after a long extended trend, these are the kind of setups, you can get these potential whipsaws. So we'll do our best to stay long, but if it starts breaking lower, then we have to follow our trade setup. Jim W. Discord open, but stuck at failed to load messages. Yeah, so I don't know. It may be that you have to be approved first. It may be some settings we have to get right. So this is still really new, and we have time. I'm going to be doing the session on Tuesday here in the YouTube channel, and I want to get you guys all in the Discord. But it's given us time to kind of work out the bugs and the kinks. So don't worry about it. We'll figure it out, and we'll get it up and running, and figure out why that's happening. So you're not going to miss anything. We'll get it all straightened out for sure. So failed to load messages. Yeah, I'm not sure yet. But don't worry. You guys click the link, and if need be, I'll send you another one, and we'll get it figured out. And also, you're not going to miss anything yet because I don't have anything planned for it until we work out these bugs. So thanks for being my guinea pig, guys. But we'll get it worked out. The important thing is we get it going, because it's exciting for me. I want to bring in some new technologies and try some new things. It's about time. So I got to manage this trade myself here. Okay. JP Morgan, if you use an email to register, will it send to my desktop email application? I use the application on my desktop. Yeah, so John asking, how do I bring that channel up in the desktop app? I have a feeling that it's about we need to activate you or activate the channel or whatever. So we'll figure it out. All right, Kevin's giving you guys some info there. And those of you who are listening to this stream later, this is a Back to the Future message. You can use the link in the chat. Yeah, so that's interesting. Kevin uses the browser and I use the actual app. So I use the app. I use it on my phone mostly just to look at, but I use it on my laptop and my home computer when I'm there with the app itself, most of the time anyway. Yeah, so I have a feeling. So, John, when you hit the link, what happens? By the way, let's go back and look at our YM trade. Now, that's something to behold, isn't it? Imagine when you come into the session and it looks like that. You guys are probably going, oh, Dios mío. But you see why we just get in sync? I mean, this is a setup. I mean, it is what it is. It hasn't stopped out. It hasn't hit money management. And then we have our start time. Do you want to talk yourself out of that? The setup is the setup, guys. Don't overthink things. Alan, yeah. I was just commenting on the euro yen, and I'm not sure that, I mean, as a secondary market, like if you have your main trading plan, the one that you trade, like for example, the pound Aussie, and you want to add something else, is this a good choice? It's slow enough to where it should not compete with your time and effort, where you're stepping on yourself to have two things going on at the same time. But it just may not be active enough. I don't know. I haven't personally tested it. I know you've been working on it, so you've liked the results you've been getting, I think. I don't know. I was thinking of giving this a fast test. I haven't done it yet. Yeah, and John, we may have to assign roles. We'll figure it out. So we'll look at a few more things here. We got to keep our eye on the pound Aussie, which seems determined to test these lows. And it's going to be an awkward place to get short because it's going to get short on top of the lows. There's a risk of getting short and having it turn around and go back up. It's kind of a sucky setup here. So there's really no way to know the right thing to do other than follow the trade. What you can do is just stay long and keep your stop and ignore the short, but just live with the results. So if it comes down and breaks through and goes down, oh well, you lost on one trade. That's one thing you can do with this situation. The second thing you can do with this situation is put your order in with the adjustment and hope you stay long. But if you get short, then you get short. And if you do get short, then hope it breaks through and goes down. Those are really your only two options here. If it just goes up and doesn't put us short, that would be the best situation. Then we don't have to deal with a difficult choice. There's really nothing more to do. It's just the dots fell on the chart the way the cookie crumbles on the floor. There's just nothing you can do about it. So clearly you can see that the strategy thinks it got short because it doesn't know we made the adjustment. So the color is going to change. But if everything works out, this could be a first action move up or the beginnings of one. But it's not, I don't think it's finished We'll find out. I want to see some closes up in this area. That's what we need to see. Definitely an awkward place to place a trade, but it is what it is. So the stop on the YM has moved up all the way up to 724. So put that in perspective. Got long at 564, 567. 567, and now the stop is up to 724. It's like a 150-point move, give or take. Just a heads up, in about 15 minutes, I'm going to kick all you guys out and reset, and we'll all log back in a few moments later for the crude oil report. Like I've been doing lately on Wednesday, we'll keep it a separate session. Also, just checking in on our unleaded gas. As I said, I had this set up with a power of quitting of 3 based on some tests. You can see the automation working here. The third trade right there. Definitely not something I would typically recommend doing in front of the crude oil report coming up in 30 minutes. I don't have real money on this. This is just running in simulation mode. Good morning to you, Leonard. All right, so let me just remind everybody, please hit the like button if you haven't done so already, and grab the link above to join our up-and-coming private Discord community. All right, so another thing I thought would be interesting while we kind of are waiting, because our main trade plans have pretty much done their work except for the pound Aussie, and that's just going to take the time it takes. But our crude oil plan, one and done. Unleaded, one and done. Dowie Mini, one and done. Those are pretty much the only 3 I follow these days in here anyway. But let's look at some interesting other possible things that you guys might like to see. Let me find something here. I was thinking of... Yeah, so you guys have probably, some of you may have gotten the notice lately. I've been doing some webinars on the Counterpunch Express 2.0. Most of you in here probably wouldn't need that anyway, but it's something I've been doing, and this is a chart I've been showing because it's just been so amazing, and Counterpunch works so well with the spider and with the cues, and I just wanted to kind of show you, even if you only focus on the green trades, although this has some of the other trades too, but have you guys seen these charts? If you go all the way back to, like, for example, COVID. So last year, you know, we all got hit with the beginning early announcements of this dreadful pandemic. And this is back in February of 2020. Gosh, it seems like another world ago. Could you remember, like, post or pre-COVID? Like, do anyone remember January of 2020 or the end of 2019? I mean, look at us here in April of 2021. I mean, I've often reflected on this. Anyway, that's not why I'm showing you this chart, but it did just bring up some thoughts. But Counterpunch predicted, like, this is all when, you know, we're all trying to get a grip of what's occurring, right? Back on February, third week in February, or end of second week, middle of third week. And Counterpunch gave you a short trade. I mean, it literally predicted what was going to happen, the market crash. with some perfect targeting. This is on the spider. It did this on the Qs. We could look at that too. But using the counterpunch is kind of like a crystal ball when you know the odds are on your side with the chart that just fits like a glove. I mean, it's not going to get it right 100% of the time, but it's going to get it right a lot of the time. So I went back and actually looked at this on some other major events that have happened over the years, like in 2010, 10 years earlier, the flash crash. Anyone remember that? It was in May, roughly around the same time, 10 years prior. I was giving a webinar at the time, and I literally started trading the YM, giving the webinar during the flash crash. And I went ahead and looked at these charts, and the counterpunch didn't even exist in those days. That was the days of the SST. And I went ahead and put the counterpunch on this exact chart, this exact configuration, and it predicted the flash crash the day before also. So then I went back and looked at the pound US crazy infamous trade that broke the Bank of England, the one that I use with my own story because that's what set me off on this career path. And lo and behold, the counterpunch predicted that as well. So, I mean, that was in 1992. Yeah, you could literally still pull the data on some charting platforms. TradeStation lets you do it with a daily chart. Anyway, just wanted to bring this up. It's pretty interesting. So one could have bought put options for not very much money, and you could see the gains, 169, 256%, 594% on a trailer, even more on the add-on here. And then that was it, because then the market decided, okay, it's rally time. And we've been rallying ever since. So this is back the lows of the crash on March 23rd. So this is literally what, a month later, straight down, give or take. Yeah, almost to the letter. That's February 24th right there. This is the low at March 23rd. And then it's all uphill. And you got to look. I mean, this is only, I actually have another chart where I marked up some of these, but it's all, if you look at how perfect these targets are, like all the times it reaches up on all these trades, a lot of them hit really close to the target before they come off. And if you put the trend mode indicator on here and just follow the trend mode indicator, you filter out a couple losing trades as well. But for the most part, most of the trades win, and they win big. I'm not sure if this is the same configuration that I was using on the other desktop, but I mean, it's pretty close. And anyway, you guys might want to put this on your own chart and check it out, because you can make some really good bank trading options using these entries. Just buy slightly in the money options with enough time, and you will see how dynamic this is. Look at that. I mean, in one day, it blasts 2 days, all the targets before pushing higher. It's just amazing how it can tune itself the way it does. Not every trade wins, but most of the trades win. This is a current trade. So here we are making all new highs. Anyway, I wanted to show you that. Unfortunately, looks like we flipped a short on the pound Aussie, and now we're testing these lows. So hopefully this won't be worst case scenario. Hopefully it capitulates and breaks lower. Oh, there it is. So short now on the pound Aussie. Let me know if anyone has any questions. We could look at the Qs too if you'd like. Alan saying his fast test on the euro yen looked good, and he's going to start putting trades into the UTA. All right. So Don is in on the short on the pound Aussie. Yeah. Hopefully this will break through. It's got a lot of support to push through, but if it does, I mean, it could push through with energy too. It's been in quite the trend to the downside here. And so far, that 50 moving average has been containing the price. So we'll see. All right, so just while we have a little bit of time remaining, let's just quickly look at the cues. So the cues were very similar, probably even more profitable than the spider, but here's the first trade during COVID and the second trade. So there were two, and then it did nothing but go up. And actually, if you turn off the white trades and only go with the green trades, I kind of like that more. The green trades, that's all you really need with Counterpunch Express 2 is the green trades. You really don't need the other trades. You do quite well with just the green trades. And so this was a chart that I actually was only using the green trades. I forgot to turn it off here, but I'll show you the difference. It changes the sequencing when you only have the green trades, because instead of a white trade being the trade being tracked and a green trade being an add-on trade, it'll wait for just the greens. And so this kind of changes it. It cleans up the chart, and you'll find that there's like very few losing trades. And this doesn't even have trend mode on there, but there's a few losing trades, but not many. And I'm also not sure about the filter, if that's necessary. But anyway, this one clearly gets filtered out because of the squeeze filter, but that's not really the intention of the squeeze filter. So you have to have a little bit of advanced knowledge. And if this was Counterpunch Express, you wouldn't see the filter. This is the full Counterpunch Trader, and the filter is just on by default. So that's something else to maybe not use for the daily chart. I don't think it's needed, because you could always just do it manually in the extreme situations. Oh, that didn't help, did it? Why not? Oh, it's going to be the squeeze filter too. The chop filter. It's both filters. Both filters. The squeeze zone filter and the chop filter. Oops. There we go. Yeah, so there it is. So it's an add-on trade, basically, because of this one. Anyway, let me know if you guys have any questions, but if you were to walk through, just put on the green trades only and step through this chart, you can make slightly larger entries. That's the other thing I think I had on my other chart that I use, is I have a larger entry because you got a $300 stock and you need more than a 2-cent breakout. Maybe a $2 breakout is more likely. And that'll clean up the chart too. So there's a few things to do with this. And I should have pulled up the other chart to show you. But anyway, there you go. So I'm going to go ahead and close this session. And give me a few minutes. I'll get set up and we'll open them up again in time for the crude oil report. So I hope you guys join me in the next 5 to 7 minutes, 10 minutes at the most. I'll see you guys in there. And hopefully you guys did well this morning. So see you shortly.